Hello and welcome to the second video for the game I have made called Attack on Rylak. In this video I'm gonna show you the setup and we're gonna go through two turns just to show you how the game works, and then in the subsequent videos we're just gonna continue playing through. I'm gonna try to do two turns per video so the videos are not too big. Alright, so here what I did, I already set up the game. And this is how it's done. I took all these counter-attack tokens, I kind of randomized them and placed them face down, so I don't know what token is where. Same thing with these things from the portal, just randomized, place safe face down. On the board I placed all the enemy tokens to correspond to the color over these terrain modifiers, so all the green, yellow and red and black on the map. And then on these numbers I place all my forces that I want to land in turns that's going to happen later on. This is what you do. You need to make a plan before you have to place your little let's say troops in the boats, and each of them is going to try to go for some of these beaches. Now since there is a stacking limit of 6 per area, you will not be able to land all of them, but once the landing start and during the landing there is a special rule when for retreating you actually lose units, so we'll see how that work. There will probably be lots of units that not gonna land during the turn that is set for their landing. You'll see how that happens, and you kind of want to push really fast and hard to be able to land later American units, okay? Because if they don't have a beach to land on, they will be set behind, so that's basically losing a turn just to move them later on. All right, I set my boats, not damage side up. Yeah, double-sided, you can see. Set all these relics and artifacts face down, also randomize them, and set everybody have highest morale and all have their sanity. Now I use like cubes for everything, but you can also do this and just push a little cube to the bottom until it's removed. But since I do have, like, you know, as I said, there is no limit of components on the tabletop simulator, you don't actually need this much of these cubes. One is enough. And I'm actually changed this so you can just change the boards to just push one cube. I could put the numbers from 1 to 5 or how many the morale there it is. These tokens are used by these ships. I have 6 dice. Americans not gonna land yet. Let's start the game. So first turn is on the first turn you're only gonna do expedition phase, because on the first turn we actually have a little something called naval bombardment. What will happen? Only the ship's gonna activate right now, and for each ship you're gonna roll a die, and any 4, 5 or 6 you roll, you're gonna be able to remove some of these troops that are here. As you can see, they can be reached from the sea to the land. So for instance, Arkansas can hit everything which is red or blue box, and Julio Caesar and so on and so on. So basically if you use all the ships, if you roll dice for all the ships, you will be able to hit any target. You may want to use some of the ships, but that's still gonna give you like big reach. Like if I only use like Julius Caesar, Queen Elizabeth and Dreadnought, means I still can hit, as you can see, 2 hits can land, well, actually 3 hits can land on the blue, but only 1 hit can run on the red. Now if you're asking why would I use some of the ships, not all of them, or how would I mix them? Because once I roll for that and maybe destroy some units, the coastal batteries, these gun batteries that enemy have, it's gonna roll one die for each of these icons, so there's gonna be 3 dice, and depending what they roll, they're gonna damage some ships. So that's why these ships have the numbers. So in my case, I'm gonna use all 6 die because I really want to clear some of these spaces right from the beginning. So let's start with that. Important thing is you may not want maybe want to use it on these guys, or you can, although why? Because some of these actually carry these relics and artifacts. So if I hit them and destroy them, I will not get the artifacts. You only get the artifacts if your army is in the area. They won a battle in that area, so they defeated units, so they pick up the artifact after that. If I hit it with the ship and destroy them completely, I also lose the artifact. In this case, I will have to take one of these artifacts and discard it immediately, randomly, so they will not be available to the game. But I may actually do that because if you see here, I might want to clear this space. Bridge of India, that's a +3 to their modifier. We'll see, depending on the dice roll. So I'm going to use all 6 ships, which means 1 die per ship, 6 dice, and I will be able to hit all these red and blue spots on the map. So during the first turn, you only have this little like a bombardment, and then we skipped it to the second turn. We don't do any other phases. All right, so I'm looking for 4, 5, or 6. I actually have 3 6s, so that's a 3 hits. Well, since I really want to push through here and try to go like the closest way, I think I'm gonna destroy this. You can flip it immediately. I know these are all D6. And we're also gonna do this one. Oh damn, I'm gonna lose 1 relic, but that's a 7. I think it's gonna be worth it, so I'm gonna discard this relic. I'm not even gonna look what it is. It's just gone. All right. So these troops are just destroyed. The bombardment was so heavy that killed them all. Now their batteries will immediately fire back, and there are 3 of them active, so 3 dice. And on these we just look for the numbers, and those are the number of the ships that are going to be hit. So number 3, Dreadnought, is going to take a hit, just damaged. Now if he takes another hit, you remove it. So that was Dreadnought. Then we have a 5, that's a Baden, also just damage, and a 6, that's Arkansas, also damaged. So I only have 3 ships damaged. No, they're damaged but not destroyed. That's good. That's good. I'll have my all 6 ships. As long as you have maximum number of ships during a supply phase, you can roll 4d6 for the supply. Once you lose some ships, that's gonna go down by 3, and if you lose all your ships, it's gonna be only 2 dice. So that's the rule for the supply, because these ships actually providing cover for the supply ships that come into island to bring us ammunition and everything. You'll see how that works very soon. All right, so that's it. That was the first turn. Turn 1, a little naval battle. Now we have a landing. So from this turn, we're going to try to land troops, and from that turn on, you'll all basically landing is starting, and you can always, if you have any troops here, you can always land them on the beaches. Beaches are basically now open up for our forces. So expedition phase, it's a landing. We do not have the event phase during first 2 turns, so we skip that. There is a supply and support phase. Nothing to supply here. All my because this means that the troop is exhausted and you need to resupply it. Right now all my troops are supplied, but we can do some support. But here's the problem. If I use the support, let me show you this. Again, batteries. As long as they're active, all enemy units in and around adjacent to the area have +2 to combat, can also hit ships when they are providing support. So if I use ships to provide support, they will fire back immediately, all of them again, and then I'll probably lose some ships. So now is the question is, do I want to keep them quiet for now and just try to land like this without any support and rush for these gun batteries and shut them down? Well, this gun battery will be shut down for sure. I mean, the moment I land, so maybe I want to do some support because I'm gonna roll only 2 dice. I might lose some ship, but keeping all my ship alive is good number of supply points. Maybe not for now. So support phase, I will not use any of these tokens for support. Might be a mistake, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to take the beaches without the support. So now I can activate units in any order. The thing is, they move. All units move one space or area, and then if there are enemy units in that area, they immediately have a combat. So that's what happened during the combat phase. You move units and you have a combat. If it's space without any units, no combat for them, but you resolve that immediately. So right now I can move these German units here to Apple Beach. The stacking maximum number of units you have in the area is 6, so they can just move in without any problems. Hold that there. And the same thing here with these Russian units. They're gonna go to Charlie Beach, and normally they would have combat, but since there are no units, they will also shut down these gun batteries. Bam. Okay. Now if I did some support during the combat phase, these gun batteries wouldn't fire back, so well, 2 would, but this one would be shut down. Alright, so here we're gonna have a fight. Now I'm just thinking I cannot put all the units here, and question is, the units you put in the area, you can decide, basically all the units you put in the area have to attack. And you can mix and match a bit, like for instance, I can do maybe a few units from here and from here, as long as I follow the rule about 6 units in there. So now I'm thinking, what do I want to put inside? Having artillery and tanks there together with this would be good, but then again, after the combat they will be all exhausted and they're gonna stay there, so the next units they want to enter will not be able to. I know this is a D6 and there is no modifier here, so maybe I don't want to commit lots of units. Let's see, I have lots of Russian forces. That's a 9. Okay, for now I'm gonna put all my Russian forces here. I'm gonna keep the French in the boats for now. I'll hope. Oof, wait, there is a +2 from this. Okay, let's give these Russian forces some French artillery also. We're gonna mix them. The only problem when you're mixing these units is when you're using morale, you're using morale of highest morale of those units. So right now, let's see, French have a +1, Russians have a +1. Okay, so that's just a +1. But if I suffer sanity or morale hit, both French and Russians gonna take that hit. But let's do that. And we're gonna keep these ones still in the boats. Now let's resolve the combat because it happens immediately when you move in. So we're gonna flip this. D6 means it's gonna be variable, so we don't know how much. So let's roll for that. It's a 5, so this is unit of 5. No modifier, but +2 from this adjacent gun battery. So that's a 7. So enemy have a 7. And I, without any support, has a 5. and a 9. That's a 14. Now the question is, sometimes you don't even have to roll. So if they roll a 6, they're gonna be 13. So they just cannot win. That is not possible for them to win this. Even I mean, I can roll, but it's not gonna change anything. So here, even with the 6, they are on 13, and now I'm on 16. So I'm gonna win that for sure. Sometimes you don't even have to roll. Sometimes the fight is just deterministic. Anyway, I won. We flip this, go to this table here, and we look for yellow and green. I'm gonna roll a die, and let's see what is the resolution. I'm hoping for a big number. A 4, that's enemy destroy, and I get 2 supply from them. So destroyed, out from a game, and I get 2 supply. I'm gonna bank that supply. You can use these during the supply, during other turns during the supply and support phase. And all the units that were in the fight will be flipped like this. This means they're all exhausted. So units have 2 values, attack and defense, and when they are exhausted, they only have defense value, which is usually a bit different than what's in the front. So when they're exhausted, they're always defending, and so they cannot attack. And sometimes the other value is used if they ambush. You'll see how that works. Anyway, all these units is now exhausted. So if I want to get them back into fight, I will have to resupply them. Alright, so that was there. Nothing here. Time for these 2 beaches here. I have Ottoman and United Kingdom forces here. But let's do first this fight. I kind of want to push them all, but then they're all gonna be exhausted. Yeah, I'm gonna push all of them. They're gonna all be exhausted, but I'm gonna probably take this beach without any problems. Okay, let's flip this. So that's a d6. Let's see. That's another 5. Not gonna write this. No, don't need to. But there is a +1 from the terrain. Now, whenever the terrain has a modifier, you're gonna roll a die before the combat to see are they managed to ambush me, because they might be hidden in these ruins or something. So how that works, if I roll equal or lower than the number of the terrain, it's an ambush. So instead of using these attack numbers, I have to use my defense numbers, because I'm actually defending from their attack. So if I roll a 1, they're gonna ambush me. Okay, they will not. So I'm attacking with all these forces. So let me roll for their strength. Did I already did that? Maybe. Yeah, I got to 5. I got to 5. So there are 5 +1, that's a 6, and +2 is 8. On my side, I have 6 here and 9 here. So that's 15. Even if they roll, we're rolling d6, so they will not be able to reach. So I will automatically win this. Let's just see, will it be a big win or a small win? Oh, it's a 6, it's a big win. Enemy destroy and +1 morale and sanity, but I don't have any morale and sanity issues for now. Alright, so we destroyed these guys. We took the beach, but all of these are now also exhausted. Alright, and here I think I'm just gonna use my motorized units for now, because I want to keep these fresh. And let's see what we have here. Oops, I'll totally flip this. So again, that's a d6. Let's roll just to see. It's gonna be 4. No terrain modifier, so straight fight. 4 +2 from gun battery is a 6 against my 7. So we are almost equal. I need to check morale. I totally forgot about morale. So UK, they have a +2. So this is not 7. This is actually 9. 9 against 6. All right. So I'm on 10 and they're on 9. So I won the battle. Now let's see the resolution. Is a 6. Enemy destroy plus morale and sanity. Anyway, we took this beach too. Okay. So that's all the combat. Yeah, that's all. The combat phase is over. There is no counter-attack phase because we didn't have any counter-attacks. End phase. If we have to clear some tokens and stuff like that, we do it right now. That's it. All in all, we managed to took almost all the beaches. This marshland is still needs to be taken, but probably gonna take that later on. All right, let's do one more turn and then we're gonna end the video. We go to turn 3. So this is the turn when we need to determine immediately where this vehicle is gonna land. So we need to have a beach we can land on. In case if you can't do that, that's the game over immediately. So if you don't took any beaches during this turn, we are doing now expedition phase. If you cannot land this vehicle, if there is no taken beaches, you lose the game. But I do have a landed vehicle, and I think I'm gonna put it here with these Russian forces. Now, it breaks the rule for stacking because this is a special vehicle, so you don't care how many units are stuck here. You just go with these troops, and you can assign it to this or mix and match whatever you want. The only thing is, if you have a unit assigned to it, and it must be assigned to some, so maybe assign it to these guys for now. When you attack with these guys and they suffer a defeat, if they lose if they suffer a unit loss, this is the first thing that dies, that little truck with the scepter, and then you lose the game. So I will have to watch out for these guys. I can put it in some other units in the same area, like mix it around and keep it safe, but you probably don't want to attack it if you're not sure you're gonna win. All right, so that's the first thing that's gonna happen. This is the phase we're gonna have the event. So first 2 turns there are no events, but now on the turn 3 event's gonna be active. So how we do that? We roll 2d6. I got a 7. Here's the event. 7 is some troops are feeling that this mission is due. -1 morale to 1 nation. Okay, so I can choose. Let's do the Ottoman Empire. They're not so sure about our winning. By the way, the moment you lose all the sanity, that nation is, you're gonna lose all the units from that nation, basically. So the sanity is really important. You don't want to lose lots of that because the whole nation is gonna disband their units. So just they're gonna retreat completely. All right, that was the event phase. We go to supply and support phase. So I have all my ships, so I can use d6 dice for supplies. How that works, you roll a dice, you count all the supply, and that's how many units you can flip back. So in this case, well, you cannot bank these supplies, by the way. The only supplies you can bank is those that you get from the enemy units. So any surplus will be lost. Let's see what I have here. 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that's it. I don't have any more spent units, so I would lose 2, but all my units are resupply and ready to go. All right, support. Question is, do I want to support some troops, giving them bonuses? The problem is, if I support them, these gun batteries will be able to fire on my ships again, and we have 2 of them that are not silenced right now. I think I will still support. So I can do these 3s. So I'm gonna do support here for Barnabas and here. And actually no, let's do support here to the western plate. Because I'm planning, so these ships gonna hit here. This is a support for my units, but negative to the enemy units. Let's do the -2 here. And I probably want to do another -2 here. I mean, let's use it as long as it is possible. Once we get out of the areas, so when we push inland, we'll not be able to support them with the ships anymore. I would probably lose some ships, but we'll see. During the end phase, when we remove support, gun batteries will fire back, so we will see which one of these will be destroyed. It's fine for now. All right, so that was that. We go to the combat phase. All right, so what I'm thinking is pushing forward as much as possible. So I would use all these troops and we're gonna attack the old entrance here. They have -2. That's a 7 with a +3, but it's gonna be -2 in total. Gun batteries are still, maybe I should went to the gun batteries first. Yeah, that was stupid of me. I should maybe silence the gun batteries, then they wouldn't have a +2, but I'm not gonna get my turn back. Also, these troops carry one of the relics, so if I manage to destroy them, I get one random relic. All right, but first let's see, will they ambush me? So if they roll equal or lower than this modifier, I'm gonna actually be ambushed. So 3 or less. Nope, so it's an attack. Okay, let's count it up. So I have a 6 here and a 7 here. That's bring me to 13. And they have a 10 plus 2, 12 minus 2 back to 10. Okay, so I have 13, they have 10. Okay, let me write that down if I forgot. 13 against 10. Now we roll a d6 and let's see what happens. Oh, by the way, I forgot about the morale. I'm using highest morale of these, so that's United Kingdom is +2, Ottomans is +1, so United Kingdom. So +2 more, I'm actually at 15. Okay, I rolled these two. So I got 19 against 12, so that's a win. Let's see what kind of a win. A 6. Enemy destroy, +1 morale and +1 sanity. I can get 1 sanity back here. And these guys are destroyed. All of these are flipped. I'm going to keep the bonus here for now. It's going to be removed later on during the end phase. And I will get one of these relics and artifacts. So let's pick this one. Oh, Elder Sign, and also 2 supply. Now these are limited, so if I don't use them once I have them banked, they're gonna be just, you know, lost. If I like need to get more and I can't, well, I just not gonna get them. All right, so that's good. The combined Ottoman and British forces captured the old entrance here. Now let's try to get the Fort Barnabas. So I'm gonna move these guys. And let's flip here. So that's a 6 plus 2, but before that, let's see, is that an ambush? Oh, it's an ambush. So, since it is the ambush, they're actually attacking me. Which means I'm not using attack, I'm using defense value. So this is a 2. So that's going to be 6 for me. Okay, let's calculate that. I have a 6, but that's the British forces. They do have plus 2 morale for now. So I'm 8 against. So they have 8 minus 3. So they are on 5. Oh, wait. Plus 2. So that's 8, 10 minus 3. They are on 7. 8 against 7. Okay, let's roll a dice. Oh, by the way, let me check what the Elder Sign do. I can use these anytime during my turn. So Elder Sign, when used, turns one lost combat into win resolution, where you can choose the win outcome from the chart. Oh, that's really powerful. I'm gonna keep that for later. Okay, this is what I rolled, by the way. I got 9, they got 10, so I lost. So we're gonna see here on the chart with green and yellow. Roll a die. That's a 2. That's gonna be counter attack in this case. So what happens now? We're gonna take one of these counter attack tokens. We choose one randomly. By the way, these are all spent. And bam, oh, 6. So how this works, this will be added. This is like another unit. So now modifier still applies. It's going to be removed in the end phase. So I still have -3 from my, my ship still pounding on them. But this will be really bad for me right now, because when the counter attack happens, I only have all my troops are exhausted. I only have these numbers, so that's a 4. Plus their morale, we'll see. Against, they're probably going to lose this. Counterattacks basically representing other troops just getting there and helping these guys, and they together like pushing you back with the counterattack. We're going to resolve that during the counterattack phase, but that's really bad. In any case, I think I'm going to take these guys and move them here. Now, since they are not in any combat, they will not be exhausted. They just moved, so you don't flip them back. You don't flip them. Only after the combat they are flipped. So these doesn't have to resupply, because I just move into territory. Let's see here. We're gonna move all these guys here because it's cleared. Here there is a fight, but I think I'm gonna first resolve this here, and then we're gonna resolve this one down here. Because I want to move this into the beach. If I manage to capture this, I can move these guys here and maybe clear this, and we'll see. Anyway, actually, how many I have here? I could have 6. I have lots of supplies. Yeah, let's be sure to capture this. So I'm gonna send these guys. Oh, but then I will not be able to move. I mean, I will be able to move, but not with these guys together. I mean, if I move here, that's it for them. So these guys can move, but then they're gonna be left. I actually want to combine them. Okay, never mind. Let's just move these guys and attack here, and then we'll see how it's gonna work. So let's flip. Oops, not these. So that's a 6. They also have one of these relics or artifacts. That's a +1. Let me check, is that an ambush? No, it isn't. So that's a 7 plus 2. that's a 9, but minus 2, that's back to 7. That's how much they have. I'm writing this because it's really hard to keep everything while recording. All right, so that's a 7, and I have a, let's see here, 9 and a 5, that's 14. So even if they roll a 6, they will not be able. So this is automatically resolved. That's a win for me. Let's see what kind of a win. And plus, of course, a morale. That's a 6. That's a good win. So 6, enemy destroyed, plus 1 morale and sanity for those groups. But those French, they didn't have any problem with the morale. So goodbye. This will be silenced because I took that. All of these are now exhausted. And I get one of the relics, so let's take one of these. Necronomicon. Okay, what that do? Necronomicon. When used, one nation loses 1 sanity, then discard all counter-attack counters on the board. So if there is a big counter-attack, we can stop it with this Necronomicon. Alright, that was nice. So now I can move these guys. They're gonna go to Butter Beach. No enemies there, so that's gonna be fine. And lastly, let's do the Germans. Let's do the Germans. Do I want to move all of them? Probably won't, because I'm gonna sure to win, but there's gonna be lots of supplies. Well, it's fine, it's fine. Let's try. Okay, we flip this. That's a 6 with a +1. Let's check if it is the ambush. No, it isn't. So 7. No gun batteries. Well, they are out of the range. So 7 minus 3, that's a 4, and I have more than they yeah, that's just straight win. So they will be destroyed. Well, maybe not. I actually still have to roll on the chart. Or the 1. So, oh, that's a 6, yeah. Enemy destroyed, +1 morale and sanity. They're already on full. So just enemies destroyed. And all of these are flipped. Alright, so we almost cleared this little island here. And that's all for my forces. Combat phase is over. Now we go to counter attack phase. And we do have some counter attack to resolve. Namely this one here. Which will be like this. So I have how much? 5 plus their morale, that's 7. So I have 7. I think enemy is just gonna beat me here because they have a 6 and a 6, that's 12, plus 2, that's 14, and plus 2 more because this is not silence. That's a 16, minus 3, that's 13. The best I can do is a stalemate if I roll a 6. So I'm just gonna roll my die. No, there will not be a stalemate. I lost this. So let's see what happens. That's a 1. Okay, that's not a big deal. Nothing actually happens. So no casualties, no nothing. That's fine. I do remove this token out of play because when the counterattack finishes, you remove the token automatically. Basically, we managed to hold out. Alright, now we go to the end phase. We're gonna remove all these tokens. And the gun batteries will fire on my ships. And that could cause that I lose some of these tokens. You'll see why, because once the ship is gone, you're also gonna lose one of those tokens. So we have actually we only have one active battery. Okay, so one die. Let's see. And that's gonna hit the ship number 5, which is already damaged. That was Baden. Baden is destroyed, so I'll lose one of these -1. Okay, that's not a big deal. Big deal is, instead of rolling 4 dice for supplies, from now on, since I have less ships, I only roll 3 dice. And when you don't have any ships, it's only 2 dice. But that's gonna happen in the next turn. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here. Next turn, we're gonna have a landing with the Americans. I did clear some beaches so they can land. They can land here, I think, and here. Now, if they cannot land, they will have to be on the boats, basically outside on one of these numbers. So you can have a problem if you don't manage to clear the beaches really fast, to have a lot of troops like bogged down around the beach and still on the ships, because there are not many turns to do all you have to do in this case. All right, all in all, I think it's going fine for now, but soon we're gonna get into the problematic part of the island. But our sanity is good, our morale is good, and so far we are progressing pretty good. I'm kind of very confident I can actually pull out the win here. Well, we'll see how it's gonna go. In any case, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. I hope you like this game. It's very interesting for me. I'm not a big war gamer, but I'm kind of pushing into that part of games. I'm actually interested to try to make some pretty good war games. So see you next time, and goodbye.